Strange occurrence in rural Kentucky. I got bored last night in late July and started driving with no particular destination. I live in the middle of nowhere in Kentucky, so there are a lot of winding country highways with very little traffic. I enjoy going on night rides to clear my head and distress. A few years ago, when I was very depressed, I would do this nightly. I decided this particular night I would go farther than normal. I would drive pretty far, then when I hit either the Ohio River, or a place I could consider memorable enough to consider an experience to go to, I would go home. I ended up about an hour and a half from home in a town I don't know the name of, at a little shop with a single gas pump, on the roadside by a very tall hill, at roughly 10:30 p.m. It was pitch black outside. I felt a strange feeling as I came up to the railroad crossing at the border to this town. I cannot describe it. Every building was abandoned. Before I walked in, there was a little black cat outside. There were wooden plaques and statues outside too. There was sound coming from inside before I walked in. I stood outside for a moment before going in to see if anyone was there, listening for voices or sound. They were voices talking. I opened the door and I'm greeted with these two workers. One was in the back and just stopped what she was doing to look at me. The other was behind a deli counter, mumbling something I could not understand. As I walked in, the fluorescent lighting managed to somehow light the entire single room of this shop, while making all the items somehow hard to read from the harsh glow. I saw a painting of a ewe with her lamb and felt a strange connection to this piece of art, as if I should buy it. I did not. As I looked up from holding it, I noticed both the workers there were just sort of staring at me. I bought a pack of Mingwa, popular local beef jerky, and a soda, and left. I noticed afterward, as I left, there was no more noise emanating from the shop when I was leaving to my car. It had become totally silent. I stopped to smoke a cigarette outside my car, but felt I should book it instead. It felt, strangely, like I shouldn't be there any longer. As I left, and drove away, past the railroad crossing, I felt as if I had somehow re-entered the normal world. I instinctively felt some kind of change. I slowed my car and looked in the rear-view mirror. I noticed that the lights weren't there from the shop any longer. I arrived home around midnight. I've been racking my brain as to what happened the entire day. What was up with this shop? Why couldn't I see it when I was leaving? But, most importantly, why did I feel like something was wrong the entire time? Was somebody, or something, watching me?